My name is Emefa. I am a fashion engineer and also the founder and owner of ISRAELLA KOBLA. So when designing any collection, I really start with one piece and then I really see how I can translate that into other styles. Because just because you vibe with the minimal yet feminine yet structured aesthetic doesn't necessarily mean that you love to wear dresses or you love to wear skirts, for example. So I really create a range of pieces that each woman can identify with. So if you love jumpsuits, you'll have a jumpsuit that works for that minimal and feminine and structured aesthetic. If you like a pant and top combo or a skirt and top combo, we've got everything for you to cater to, your outlet and how you like to express yourself. And so another thing that I really like to take into consideration too, and this is really important when it comes to including print or not including print, is that each piece should be able to stand alone if the print is removed. For example, the Asha dress was originally released with a black and white print that was created with Tony, but then it's also available in black. And they both stand alone, they both have different essences and they convey a different energy, but they both stand alone in a solid design by themselves. So when designing a collection, there's three key things that I really take into consideration. The first thing is the quality. Whether it's the clothing, whether it's our packaging, whether it's our communication on social media or our website, the quality of what we do is really something that's so important to ISRAELLA KOBLA, and the two should go hand in hand. I want quality and ISRAELLA KOBLA to be synonymous. And the next thing is, the longevity of the pieces, the longevity of everything that we're putting out there to sell and create. I want these pieces to really transcend time, and that's exactly why we don't follow trends. A lot of our pieces are timeless, they're classic kind of statement pieces that now or 10 years from now are still going to be relevant. You're still going to want to wear them, or you're going to want to pass them down to somebody who you know that can wear those pieces as well. And then thirdly, everything we do is very intentional. Intentionality is something that's, again, very important to ISRAELLA KOBLA. So whether it's naming of the pieces in the collection, whether it's where something is placed on the garment, a strategic placement of a cutout, everything is very intentional. And one thing, for example, is the Dalmar dress. That piece was created in the height of the pandemic and has gone on to be one of our best sellers. And that's because I wanted to create a piece that women could wear in the comfort of their home, but they could also wear when things came back to normal and you wanted to go out for dinner, you wanted to go out for brunch, or even to work. There's a lot of variety to that, and the name Dalmar in itself represents versatility. That's the meaning of the name, versatile. And so that's one thing, again, with naming of the pieces throughout the collection of the Freed from Captivity collection as well. All of those names represent freedom of some sort, and that was really to bring everything together and not just, have a haphazard way of calling the pieces. So those are the three main things that I really take into consideration when designing any collection, putting anything out there from the ISRAELLA KOBLA name. I think there's a lot of inspiration that I get from architecture. Like, I love modern architecture, and even the print used in the Freed from Captivity collection, that was designed with a Toronto-based artist called Tony, and that was actually stemming from a photograph that I saw online of a building looking up from the ground. It was a photograph of a high-rise building that we made in an abstract form in various colors, and we were able to translate that into the collection. So I take a lot of inspiration from architecture. I think just from what women wear, what I want to wear, there's a lot of inspiration I get from the women around me as well. There's a lot of my friends, my family that are the ISRAELLA KOBLA women, and so the sources are endless, I would say. At ISRAELLA KOBLA, we really made-on-demand production process. So everything is made in-house, which allows us to really control how much we're producing. As opposed to going to an external manufacturer where you have to subscribe to high minimum order quantities, we're able to produce on demand based on what our customers need and want. All of our fabrics are sourced locally as much as possible, and also our trims and notions as well. We try and source everything as close to home as possible to reduce our carbon footprint. Another thing we try and do is with the prints that we do use, we use a waterless process to dye the fabrics called dye sublimation. And that eliminates the excessive use of water during the dyeing process. There's two key pillars that ISRAELLA KOBLA is built on. On one hand, there's the education piece, and on the other hand, there's a real goal to redefine what African-made luxury is and the global perception of that. On the education piece, I really want to invest in the people we bring in to the ISRAELLA KOBLA team. If they want to grow as a pattern drafter, they want to grow as a sewer, they want to grow as an overall operations manager, I really want to educate them and empower them to be able to do the best that they can. And that can also be through a coveted internship program that we plan on launching within the next few years, or it can be on skill development as well. There's many ways that we can really focus on the people and the team that work at ISRAELLA KOBLA. The second pillar really revolves around a future goal for ISRAELLA KOBLA and producing in Ghana and producing in other countries in Africa. And right now, people really have a visceral reaction to made in France or made in Italy, and that's the same reaction that I want for made in Ghana. You know, ultimately, I want to shift production over there and change how people perceive things that are made on the continent. I want it to be associated with quality, longevity, culture, and everything in between. Yeah, you can do like.
Yeah, you can do. It's okay. There we go.
Cool.
Yay! Credits. Yeah.
Is that good?